Hello, everybody. It's Carrie Ann Finley from Spiritual Awakening Academy, and we're here tonight to talk about intuition. So, while I'm waiting for everyone to get connected, come in and ask your questions. I'll give you a little bit of information about me and how I got to this place right now where I can confidently answer your questions and give you information that'll help you on your journey in reading energy yourself. So I was born being able to read energy. I don't know life any other way. I could always do it ever since I was a little kid. I could see angels and fairies, which all sounds really nice, but I could also see the bad guys, the ghosts and the dark spirits, and I had no control over this. And I spent a good part of, gosh, the first 25 years of my life trying to run from all the things I could see because it was scary to me and I couldn't control it. And there were times when I did actually have enough awareness within myself to control it for short bursts. And then I really didn't know what I was doing. So I'd lose control again and it would take me over. And I'd be seeing things when I'm at work or I'm seeing things when I shouldn't be focusing on these kind of things. And it was really ruling my life. And it was chaos, to be honest. And I lived in a series of haunted homes my entire life. We had ghosts in every home I've ever lived in. Hi, Norma, how are you? And so I could always see the ghost and the spirit activity in the homes. And really, I just was trying to find information to help me survive all this energy I was seeing because I didn't know, firstly, why I could see it or how I was even seeing it. It wasn't something that I could understand myself. And how do I manage it? So I actually spent, once I got into my mid 20s, I kind of had enough. I wanted to take control. And I spent, oh, big hugs to you, Norma. Thanks for the heart. It's good to see you here. I actually went to many, many years of classes to learn how to control my intuitive messages, which saved my life. I took, oh, hey, Derek. Hi, how are you? I took intuitive counseling classes. I took several years of remote viewing training to be able to control all the messages that were coming in and how to read the information. I took feng shui training, which is Chinese metaphysical information. It's reading on different layers. And that's what put me at a place where in 2006, I thought, you know what? I think I can do this now. I want to teach people how to do it. So I actually went to the Calgary Board of Education and asked them if I could teach feng shui, and thinking that this is got to be the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. The whole time, you know what it's all about. It's intuition, right? So I'm going for my job interview and I'm saying I'd really like to teach feng shui. And the woman on the other side of the desk who's interviewing me says, that sounds really nice. I've never heard of it before, but somebody who used to teach the intuition classes at our school has just left, and would you be able to teach this for us? And I thought, oh, I don't want to, what a boring thing to teach. I don't want to teach that because I really didn't know how important it was yet, which, funny for me now looking back 19 years later. So that was in 2006. Or I guess that would be 16 years later. But so guess what? I got the job. I've been teaching it ever since. It's been one of my favorite classes. I've taught it through adult education classes, private groups. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I've helped people who can see absolutely nothing start to see energy, and their eyes spark up, and they get so excited, and they just get giddy like a child for being able to see energy for the first time. And that's truly why I love doing it, because it's really fun for me to be able to share that gift with other people because everyone can do it. And this is what blew me away. I thought only certain people could read or see energy. And when I was taking my years of remote viewing training, I learned that every single person can do it. We just haven't been taught. Just like everybody can play the piano if you take lessons and learn how to play the piano, or everybody can speak French if you take lessons and learn how to speak French. Same with reading energy. There's actually rules to follow and patterns that you need to be aware of to be able to guide you to read energy properly. And once you know that, it's so easy. And then you can use these tools to help guide you on your path through life to understand your life purpose, because that's really what it's all about. So I'm here to answer your questions. If Norma or Derek, if you have any questions, or anybody else who joins in, just let me know how you're feeling about how intuitive messages are coming to you, if you have any obstacles that you're facing, that messages maybe aren't coming in very clearly, or some of the information that you do get, you're not sure how to interpret it. I'm here to help you get through those things. One thing that I really did learn in my training, which was really important, was to trust every single message that you get, because every message is true. And this is hard for a lot of people to understand. So let's take a few steps back. Every message that you get is true because it's coming to you from source, from the universe. It's filtering through your crown chakra into your mind, who's hopefully a blank receiver. Sometimes when we have a lot of mental chatter, you get a lot of that mixed in with the messages that you're getting. So clearing your mental chatter will really help. But having said that, it should come right through into your mind, and you get a quick glimpse or a feeling or an aha or just an inkling of something that needs to be done or something that needs to be said that's important, and just act on it. I just started by trusting it every single time and acting on it, because we know what happens when we don't trust it, right? I'm always backtracking and going, oh, I should have done that. I knew it the whole time and I didn't act on it. Why? Because we've done this so many times now, and we've seen this pattern play over, that when you don't trust the intuition, you're regretting it later. So now I just come from a place where I know these messages are right. I know they're correct. I'm going to trust what's coming through. If I have a chance to act on it, I am going to act on it in the best way I can, and then just wait and see what happens, because it's the gentle guidance from the universe to help nudge you forward in the best way possible to help you follow your life purpose. That's what these messages are for. Something that's really important to learn how to do is to learn the basics. So clearing mental chatter is really key. I don't have mental chatter anymore because I was trained how to clear it. And yes, you can clear it. It's actually not normal, which blew me away too, because 20 years ago, I had mental chatter and then did all the training to clear it. I've never had mental chatter since. So the whole idea is you are in control of your mind, and your mind is not in control of you. And when you have lots of mental chatter going on, your mind is in control of you, and you're chewing on all these things all the time. And I call it the mental wheel of doom, because you just rehash all this baloney that's really nothing, and it's not serving any kind of purpose in your life except it's rehashing the past. So there is a special process to go through, to cancel, clear, delete it out, and blank out your mind. And maybe we can just try that. I'll put it up here so that anyone who's watching this later maybe can see it and use it as well. So the trick to do it is you close your eyes when the mental chatter comes in. I just take a moment and pause and check in with myself so I'm aware. I close my eyes and I clear out the screen of my mind completely. So I blank it out just like a blank screen. And I say cancel, clear, delete. And so in my mind, I imagine it's like a computer. I'm hitting the delete button on my computer, even in my mind. It's really comical, like Bugs Bunny kind of comic is how I see my pictures. So I'm hitting this comical computer screen, delete. Everything goes blank. Then I replace my computer screen with something that's very positive, and the same picture every time. So for me, my favorite thing that I remember that makes me feel good is a standing on the beach in Maui, and I can even see my feet in the sand. My bare feet are like tucked in the sand, and the wind is blowing in my hair, and the temperature is just right, and I can smell the ocean, and it just makes me feel really happy. So when you have this positive mental picture that you can go to every single time, You're telling your brain, no, we don't think negatively, we think positively. And if you hit this every time, so every time you've got negative mental chatter coming in, I hit the delete button, blank out my mind, put in the positive reinforcement picture, and I feel really happy, and you've just changed it. So it's called flip switching by a famous author named Lynn Grabhorn. Actually made this technique quite famous years ago in the 90s, because she was one of the first people who was teaching how to raise your vibration years ago when people didn't even realize it was a thing. She was starting to get people to think in a more positive way to raise their vibration so that they could see more coincidences. And your intuition works the same way. If you can keep your vibration high, you'll get more clear messages and you'll understand the truth behind the message as it comes in because you won't have any mental chatter. And then you'll be able to follow the message and move forward in the most positive way. It's really brilliant. So, going back to the mental chatter, it sounds really nice and all easy that we can do this really quick, but you know what the mind is like? It's going to be very persistent and annoying, just like a little kid nagging at you for some candy, right? The brain is going to go, oh, no, but remember this thing we were just chewing on 5 minutes ago? And it's going to come right back in there and get you to chew on it again because your mind is in the habit of doing that. So it takes about 28 to 30 days to break a habit. We know that already. Science has shown us that that's the rough time, 28 to 30 days. So honestly, this is what I had to do. Every single time, if every time you get negative mental chatter, blank out your mind, cancel, clear, delete, put in your positive picture. If this is happening to you 150 times a day, then I'm doing it 150 times a day or 10 times a day or whatever. It's however many times it's coming in. I don't let it slip. It takes no time at all, right? I've got, oh yeah, what's that thought? Okay, I don't like that. It's negative. I'm going to pause, blank out the screen, cancel, clear, delete, positive picture over and over until one morning, and I'm telling you the truth, this totally happened to me and it blew me away. One morning, I woke up and it was gone. The mental chatter was gone. Now, here's the coolest thing ever. I get so excited when I talk about intuition because it's nuts. When you when you get past the mental chatter, which is like such an obstacle or such a block for people, and I totally get it because I've been there. It is. It's like trying to take a picture and putting a giant rock in front of the people standing there that you're trying to take a picture of. So once you can move that giant obstacle, the messages start flooding in and it's unbelievable all the things that you're getting all the time. And so then it becomes more of being able to monitor everything that's coming in and keep tabs on the messages. So once I got to this point, it gets really exciting because think of it this way. Your mind, now that it's really clear, is like a satellite dish and it's a receiver for universal messages, which is what it should be. That is what it is actually doing all the time. But when it's got the mental chatter, it's got to filter through all the gunk to get to you. So the messages aren't really clear. So when the obstacle's gone, you've got the receiver going. And literally, I've got messages coming in all the time. And I used to, when I first started, actually keep a journal because it's so hard to keep track of them when you first start. And I just keep journals of, okay, I'm thinking of this and I'm thinking I have to do that, and just really monitoring everything that came through. Now the trick is you don't want to hold on to anything. So I'm not chewing on any of the information I've got. So for example, sometimes some of the information you'll get is important to help you move towards your life purpose in a certain way that needs to be acted on quickly. So for example, let's say for work, I might get a picture of someone I know in my mind that if I call them, I'd be able to teach a class. And actually, this has happened before. I have a couple of groups that I teach for, and I'll know when this one lady does need a class for her group because I'll see her picture, a picture of her in my mind, and then I'll just send her a quick email. Hey, how are you doing? Anything happening with classes? Are you looking for something for your group? And almost every time she'll say yes. So that's kind of how it goes. You want to act on it as soon as you can. But anyway, I'm keeping all of these messages that I'm getting in a journal to start. I actually don't do that anymore because it's been a long time for me now. So I've been doing it for, 16, well, 20 years actually. I took the remote viewing courses in 2003, so that was a long time ago. And so it's more of a habit for me now to not have mental chatter, which is awesome. So I have a mental filing system for my messages now. In the beginning, I used to use a notebook and just have categories for filing. This is about my family. This is about work. This is about my health. This is about, whatever, etc. And that helps you understand more about the messages that you're getting, the types of message. And by the way, once you've cleared your mental chatter, the messages are always positive every time. There's no negative message coming in anymore, with one exception. So the exception is if there is something that will cause you harm or put you in harm's way or stop you from moving towards your life purpose, you will get a negative message. So I'll give you an example. Right about a couple of years after I'd done this training, and I knew that my mental chatter was gone and I was thinking very clearly and very positively, I was packing up the car. My kids, I have two boys, so my kids were still in diapers. They were, I think, 2 or 3. I was driving in the country to go visit my grandma, and at the time, it was a 2.5 hour drive from where I lived. So it's country roads. It was not all highway driving. So I took my husband's car. He actually had a truck, and I took his truck on purpose because he had bigger tires. It was safer, right? But the whole time I'm planning to go on my trip, all I can think of in my mind is flat tire, and it was incessant. I'd get pictures of flat tire. I'd get the words flat tire in my ear. I'd even feel kind of in my heart, it felt like something was off. And I knew I didn't think this way anymore. So I was actually concerned. So I get the car all packed up. I walk around the car. I check the tires like 3 or 4 times because I'm really wanting to be sure everything's fine. So I'm driving, I'm driving, I'm driving. About an hour and a half in, I stop to go to the bathroom, and with the kids, everything looks good. I do another walk around. Everything's fine, but I'm still getting the message. I'm still getting flat tire, and I'm feeling it. I'm trying to put it out of my mind, but it's not going away. So an hour more into the drive, I roll into the town where my grandma lived, and I was actually going to stop at the dollar store and pick up something for her before I went to her house, which was a few blocks away. And I roll in to the parking lot at the dollar store and flat tire. No kidding. Nuts, right? It was my driver's side front tire had a nail in it. And obviously it wasn't there before. Isn't that the most craziest thing? So, and all the messages stopped, right? So I didn't have the flat tire message anymore after that. It was like my mind was clear. So your angels and your spirit guides will talk to you and give you warning messages to help you when you're going through situations that might be harmful or you're in harm's way, right? And that's something to be aware of as well. But when you're really connected to your intuition, then you're able to discern between the two because I knew something was off. I was really aware that I didn't think that way anymore and that I needed to listen to the messages. There's also, something that's interesting about the messages that you get is the feeling behind the message. And that's like 90% of the message. So the feeling that you get behind the message, it takes a while to learn that, but you do learn it from writing down the messages that are coming through. Write them down in your journal. When you actually take time to write it down, you'll feel it in your body as you're writing it down. If it doesn't happen in the beginning, it will start to happen in time. And so now, because I've been doing it for a long time, I can feel the message as it's coming into my mind right away. So, like when I'm doing readings for somebody, I can feel already if they're asking a question, I can feel yes or no, or right or wrong. You can feel that energy. It's easy to detect when you have a lot of practice. So, understanding how to learn that feeling is important. And it's something that actually everyone's doing all the time already. They're just not aware of it. And that's what I really found in my classes, especially detecting all kinds of intuitive information. So, going through the classes and teaching people exercises to help develop their intuition, they would say to me after class, I was doing this all the time, but I just thought that message was just something that my mind was forcing me to think, or it was mental chatter, and I wasn't sure if I could trust it. So I know everyone's got this stuff in them and it's working, but we just haven't been taught to learn how to access it properly or how to use it to our advantage. Isn't it the coolest thing ever? We've been given this wonderful guidance system to be able to use for ourselves. And once you know how to read the messages, life is actually quite fun. So I'll give you some more examples. Um, Colors, numbers, symbols, and synchronicities are the categories that are the most important when you're reading energy. So you do need to learn those as a foundation to be able to read most anything else, because the main colors, the main numbers, like nothing changes after you've learned those. They're the main meanings behind those certain things that are going to help you go forward with each message, reading each message every time. So today I saw crows. And some people really don't like crows. Some people really do like crows. So when you're reading intuitive messages, remember the feeling is really important. So I always go back to the feeling first. Even if you don't know what crow means as a symbol right away, and you might have to look it up later, check in and check in on the feeling. So I'm walking my dog, and 4 crows come flying down and they stand in the road in front of me. None of them look at me, which is very important. When an animal looks at you, it means they are giving you a clear message about something, and they are also a totem animal for you. So none of these crows did look at me. So it wasn't a clear message towards anything symbolic towards me in general, because if it was, they'd be looking into my eyes. Now, because I saw the backs of all of them and they came down onto the road and then flew off, still seeing their backs the whole time, it's a message more in a general sense, or could be my community, and it could be a world sense. And in general, I would say, yeah, it's probably my community. There's lots of interesting things happening in my community energetically. We have lots of changes with people moving. There's a couple of homes for sale, so people are moving in and out, and the energy is really pushing in and out in waves like tides right now. So I could definitely see how that energy is shifting things. So now, to get more information on crow, we go to what is a crow. So if you look up the symbolism of crow, this is why some people don't really like crows and some people do. So crows mean the magic of the universe. They understand the deep magic behind all things. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 crows is actually not too bad. When you see a lot of crows, trouble. Sometimes when you just see 1 crow and it's staring you in the face, trouble. So I'm so glad the crows weren't looking at me because I would have been nervous, but it's all good. They weren't looking at me. So it's just a symbol for the general area and just for something for me to think about what's happening in the community and the energy coming and going. And they flew away from me, not toward me, right? So you can also understand how to read that as well. So the message is, if they were flying toward me, it would be more like a message for me. But they're flying away from me, which is suggesting their energy, what they represent, was leaving the community or leaving the cul-de-sac while I was walking the dog out through that way. Also the color black. So the color black, energetically, the color black can mean void, like a null situation, like a wipeout. When we do our cancel, clear, delete, we're putting a black screen, a void screen on there. And so the first message to me of black means void. The second one, there's a second meaning of black, which means trouble, right? Like, darkness, bad energy. And so the only way to be able to read the difference between the two is to feel it. And this is when you start getting into fine tuning your messages that you're getting. So every symbol or message that I get, I'm checking it on many levels. What is the general picture of what's happening here? Is the energy going towards me? Is it moving away? What does the crow mean in general? What do 4 crows mean? So the number 4 means obstacles. Pretty cool. The obstacles were flying away from me. Oh, yes, that's the best ever, right? Isn't that the neatest thing? Synchronistic events are awesome. And yeah, I've actually had a few obstacles that I was thinking of how I could get through them today. So that's a good sign for me. Maybe they're lifting off and they're heading off in a new direction. And then I went to black, the color black. So can you see all the different types of information that you can get just from one thing happening to you? So many different layers of information. It's just amazing. And this is what I want to share with everyone who's not able to read it yet, because it really does change your life. It changed my life forever. Learning how to read energy and being able to control the messages I was getting instead of having them control me just gave me peace. More than anything else, it gave me peace of mind. It gave me confidence because now I could actually have information that I could trust and that I could have faith in and act on. It gave me a lot of confidence. And then it helped to grow who I was as a person and move towards my life purpose. So it's very powerful. On Tuesday, on the 22nd, we have a free energy reading class. And it's the third Tuesday of every month. And it's for anyone who's taken the Develop Your Intuition or the How to Read Auras classes, because if you've taken those classes, you'll know then you've got the basic understanding of how to read energy, which is really important because everyone who comes to the class, we're already talking about, I'm seeing 4, and that means obstacles, and that you're wearing a black shirt or whatever. So we're reading through all those things, and you need to be up on what all those things mean to get into the class. But I do have it on Teachable. I'll post it in the group so that if you do want to jump into those classes, you can before Tuesday. If not, maybe we'll catch you again soon. I've got, actually, there's a lot of us in that group now, and we have quite a good time reading each other's energy. It's quite a lot of fun. And the neat thing too is it's different every time because your energy is changing all the time. So, we meet once a month and we're reading energy with roughly the same group of people. And some people come and go, and then we don't see them for a couple of months, and they come back and they have brand new energy. Or if they're going through obstacles, you can see that right away too. And then we can help each other get through it as we read it. So it's kind of cool. And oh yeah, this Sunday, Feng Shui class, Feng Shui basics. So Feng Shui is learning how to read energy. And I know everyone talks about, Feng Shui is about how energy flows. Yes, very surface. It's about how to move your furniture. Going to a next level, it's about why you move your furniture, right? You move your furniture because the energy flow is off, and understanding why those blocks can cause problems in your life and how to read the energy behind it. So it's a deeper form of reading energy. But Sunday is a basics class. You do need to know the basics to get to the advanced. But yeah, if you want to jump in on that, I've got that on Sunday. Actually, that's going to be fun. That's 9:30 till 11:30 Mountain Time in the morning. So you can message me if you want to jump in on that class. Lots of stuff going on all the time. And I'm done. I've been talking for 30 minutes already. So thanks for joining me, you guys. It was so good to see you. Thanks, Norma and Derek, for stopping in to say hi. It's so good to see you both. And thanks for listening to my story. It was lots of fun to tell it. I don't get tired of telling all the funny stories I've been through because energy is amazing. It still just blows me away. Every single day, I'm in awe of how brilliant the whole system of energy is and how it helps to guide us through life. So I will post this for you guys later, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. I'm going to do this talk now every Thursday, 6:30 Mountain Time. We'll have a different topic. Next Thursday, I'm going to be talking about psychic protection because a lot of my students are telling me, even though they're protecting themselves, they're feeling like they're not protected enough, or they're still having negative energies come in. And there's actually a threefold way to protect yourself. So if you're not doing those three different actions, then you're probably not fully protected. And I'll go through that next time. All right, have a fabulous night, you guys. Love you all. Take care. I'm going to go now. Bye.